Welcome. This is going to be a narrative style reading, intuitive and energetic. Let's open up with intention. I intend for this message to be a clear channeling for the viewers, for confirmation of their current experience, to invoke thoughtful inspiration, to promote your personal exploration and self-reflection. I also intend this to be of great benefit to myself as I have conscious contact with the divine, with source energy, with all that is, for the highest and best good of all. And let it be so, and so it is. All right, let's take a deep breath. Open up the heart space. And let's see what we have. Okay, so these readings are a little different. So we're going to start with some signs. Source, please give me 3 signs. Last shuffle. Thank you. Cancer, Pisces, Virgo. On clarifying, we have Virgo. So primary Virgo reading, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay, primary Virgo is going to be Sun, Virgo, Moon, Virgo, or Ascendant Virgo. Okay, other players in here, or it might also be that there's heavy Virgo energy, Cancer and Pisces. Virgo, Cancer, Pisces, primary Virgo. All right, let's get started. What messages do for the viewer? 222 on the timer. Messages for Virgo. Last one. First card fully out, please, Spirit. First card fully out. All right. Let us begin. Can you see that? All right. So we have Death. King of Wands. Nine of Cups. The Hangman. 7 of Swords. Get some clarification on the King of Wands. King of Wands. Shuffle. Thank you. Judgment. King of Cups. 5 of Cups. Okay, no more playing nice guy. Okay, so this message is for someone that recently took action. The Star, the 10 of Wands, the Hermit. Okay. You recently encountered deception, some sort of trickery, some sort of foul play. Wow. Okay. Some sort of foul play, but you're not looking at it the same. You did take the time to kind of pause and look at it from a different perspective before you took action, but you did take transformative action. You are quite pleased with the outcome of the transformative action. The transformation here with death might also be because you came out showing me this King of Wands energy was directly related to judgment, the King of Cups, and the Five of Cups. So you might have been in a situation where you were very much with your heart on your sleeve and you were forced to make the call due to loss or regret or remorse or some sort of pain or something to maybe to 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 move out of that heart-centered um, energy into a more action-oriented energy, not like a cutthroat type of King of Swords energy, but more of like inspired action, more of a fire type of energy. It was almost like the transformation from that King of Cups because of this loss, heartache. Uh, you shifted over. This event was quite burdensome for you. It was overwhelming, really. Oh, and it made you feel like you had to defend your 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 heart. Changing from that energy, changing from that energy from the King of Cups to the King of Wands, although you you did it, oh my gosh, you did it to match a Queen of Wands energy. Isn't that interesting? This Queen of Wands energy, we have Queen of Wands, Five of Pentacles, the Lovers, the Two of Pentacles, and Justice. We heard fated love versus karma. But I didn't hear karma's karma. It was fated love versus fate. I think that you felt and this might have been a past energy too. You might have been deceived in the past. And instead of looking at, closing off your heart space, okay. Closing off your heart space due to previous deceit, previous, I've been wounded in the past, carrying those wounds over and everything. It looks like you did a lot of work in order to heal that part, to really do some introspection, some self-reflection. You have this star here too. It's a very healing energy. You've been uber defensive about love in the past, incredibly defensive. But in this King of Wands energy, it looks like you had actually um, manifested a partner, a divine counterpart. It does look like your divine counterpart does carry similar wounds with the abandonment. With the lovers and the Two of Pentacles and Justice, I think a part of this decision to energetically match with that divine counterpart actually came from a feeling of equality. Yeah, the Six of Pentacles on top of the Two of Pentacles. You weren't even, you were very unsure when you went to make this partnership. You were very unsure from a heart space. It was almost as if you had manifested with a list. A list? You manifested using a list. Who do we say this was for? The Virgo. Okay, yeah, yeah, okay, that would make sense. Like you were very, I was going to say diligent. You were very specific, direct, like, okay, so so it gives me the energy of you. Okay, instead of writing down these are the things that I do not want, right? It was almost like you manifested from a place of positive creation. These are the attributes that I do want. I think somewhere in that list or somewhere in your past, I get this feeling that you were attached to someone that was um, overly emotional or emotionally manipulative. There's something to do with the emotions and them being incongruent with situations, incongruent with responses, something like that. Something very unequal to the environment. So you decided to instead this time manifest on the basis of pushing that to the outside. So maybe you focus more on passion for life, passion for whatever your passions are, like wherever, or spiritual growth and development. It could also be physical attributes, like you were very, um, you put less emphasis on, I want this person to love me and say nice things and have the same love languages and romance and all of those things. Like instead of being focused like that, you were more focused on, I want this person to be um, decisive, but be like enthusiastic and be seductive and look this specific way. And it was something, yeah, some like more on your level once you got out of that King of Cups energy, wearing your heart on your sleeve. You're more protective over your heart, or maybe you were you just kind of changed direction in what you were looking for. And I don't think that you were going to accept anything less. And it looks like you were successful in finding this particular person with the Ace of Swords. All right, let's keep going. Five of Swords to the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, to the Four of Cups. To the Six of Cups. To the World. It didn't quite work out the way you wanted it to. You were, you were still, you were still, you know what, before I say that, let's go ahead and let's clarify. Can you give me, Spirit, please, Four of Cups and Six of Cups? Clarification, Four of Cups, Six of Cups, this card out, all the way out. Page of Cups. Symbology. The Hermit. Death. And that's where we started, was, okay. And the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so I guess that's why we're here now, or why you're here now. So you still feel, though, like something is missing. Like you're still discontent about this, and it's very much reminiscent about what you've already experienced. Like this is the same cycle. You have two cycle cards back to back with a discontent, disheartened, just not having it. And this is exactly what happened in the past. And you're like, but I did everything. I was diligent in my manifestation. I was diligent in what I was thinking. I was, watching my thoughts. Like I thought that I had really genuinely put forth the effort to go within and take a look at everything. You're saying here that you, with the Death and the Hermit and the Page of Cups, that you did make an honest attempt to go in there and really reflect on how you felt um, about the energy of emotions as it relates to partnerships, whatever type of partnership that this is. But it didn't actually transform anything. Your shift from the King of Cups to the King of Wands did not change anything except for the attraction of the divine counterpart that matched that same energy. That's right. Wheel of Fortune still at the bottom. So I'm thinking that the reason that this message is coming out is because you are thinking about spinning that wheel again. Let's, you know what, we're gonna do something just a little different because I think that it might help. We are gonna grab some shadows here because the only way that we would not have gotten through that pain originally of that made you want to kind of change the way that you approached or the way that you presented your yourself, instead of being all heart all the time, all, King of Cups energy, you came in as a King of Wands, which is very self-assured, sexy, just, oh, that might have also played a role too. You might have gone more I was going to say sexy, but then superficial came to mind. Less heart, more passion. And that didn't do it for it. There was still something that felt incomplete. All right. Can I get some shadows that might be the reason behind the change from the King of Cups to the King of Wands, please? Most pertinent. Passive. Allowing things to just happen. Too open and fake. So energetically, this feels like this situation in the past, which left you in the Five of Cups, where you were completely open with your heart space. You were that ended up in feeling like you opened yourself up to giving up your power by being too open. Your power by being too open. Vulnerable, vulnerable. So that you created instead, in order to preserve your vulnerability, you decided to, with this false appearance, this fake shadow, superficial. What did I say? I think I said superficial, didn't I? Sexy, and then I can't remember. You'll have to, whatever the word was. It was very similar to like superficial, right? Um, you went from being openly vulnerable to more of like I'm not saying you weren't being yourself, but you were it was fraudulent. It was not true, because you are truly this King of Cups energy. Like, that's you're coming from that space, but you were wounded in that space. So you decided to try on a different mask. And you found that even though you attracted a partner, right, that met that same vibration, you still have that underlying feeling of this is not what I was looking for. Like, um, this is not ultimately fulfilling. You do have the World card out here. So to me, this almost, well, you have the World, and then at the bottom of the deck there was the Wheel of Fortune again. I feel like you might be here in YouTube Tarot World for because you want confirmation that this would be a good time to close this out and start something new with a different mask. Kidding about the mask. All right. Um, the hesitation. Thank you. Okay, we have unhealthy and paradox. Yeah, duplicitous, inconsistent, and then unhealthy. Okay, so two more shadows were paradox and unhealthy. So this so the paradox shadow says act in contradiction to personal beliefs, duplicitous, contradiction, inconsistent. And then we have unhealthy. This swapping, although although we are, as humans, multi-layered, and we have lots of light and lots of shadow and lots of egoic personalities and masks and things like that. And without trying them on, you wouldn't really know if they were for you or they weren't for you, if it was more in alignment with who you are. Um, you are currently in an energy that is not in alignment with who you truly are. And that is an unhealthy pattern. By closing out this cycle, spinning the wheel again, trying on a different mask or trying it in a different way, that is just perpetuating the same thing. Okay, so let's get some advice then on how to, or at least which direction to go into. First card out, fully out, please, Spirit, to start. Fully out. First card, fully out. I didn't even have any fire signs that came out, right? Water, water, earth. First card out, please, for advice. Okay. First card out. Okay, Three of Wands, the Emperor, the Knight of Wands, the Tower, the Two of Swords, wow, and the Two of Cups in the reverse. Okay, this is one line. Okay, so your advice here from, okay, oh, okay. Your advice here from Spirit, Three of Wands to the Emperor. So why don't we consider this time, instead of segregating, separating, excluding different aspects of the Kings, why don't we go ahead and we embody all four in its completeness, in its entirety with the Emperor? Why don't we look and see what that's going to bring in when we fully integrate all four of them? Have the highest truth, have the highest passion, the most heart space, and the most grounded. Okay, so let's open our heart space, let's get grounded, let's use logic, and let's, you know, go at it with a great deal of passion. Because coming in and going back and forth with the Knight of Wands between Kings, um, energies of Kings, right? Flipping, trying on one of this over here, one of that over here is not going to tower. It's not going to give you what you want. It's just a disaster waiting to happen. Okay. And you don't, this is not something that you want to do with the Two of Swords. This is not a decision that you want to make. What you're not seeing is that this is the exact opposite. This is not going to give you a union. It's in fact going to lead to more heartache. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be enter too innate, too passionate, too logical, too, I mean, that's just people's preferences. The most important thing here is for you to be your fullest, most authentic expression of yourself. And don't change who you are for anyone unless it's for you, unless it's for your higher self and you find something that you want to work on, and then you change what you change for you. Your advice is to step, I don't even think that's a word. Step into Emperor energy and see what comes in. Because this in and out energy, I'm not going to get it. It's not going to get what you want, for sure. All right, do we have a untouched deck? We do not. Okay. So, Spirit, assuming that we follow the advice and step fully into Emperor energy, what is a potential outcome? Potential outcome for Emperor energy. One more. Thank you. We have the Hangman, the Four of Swords, the King of Swords, and the Four of Wands. Taking the extra time, or it might be a little time, The energy of this gives me, by truly looking at it from a different perspective, and this is including with meditation and rigorous honesty, legitimately cutting out anything that is not in alignment with who you know yourself to be, being very diligent on um thorough examination. That's an odd way to put it. Thorough examination of, I want clarification on that. Examination. Page of Pentacles, Strength, Five of Cups. Okay, thorough. Oh, I got it. Okay. I was thinking thorough examination of the people that you were like an interview process. This is kind of the feeling that I got. But there, it's talking more of like thorough examination of where this energy really, like, when we back up and we say that, what was your original change in the beginning with that Five of Cups? What, you were the King of Cups. You were totally ruled by the heart space, but you changed that in order to get a different outcome. So if you are clear, if you take the opportunity to become very, very clear on what it was on your internal landscape that made you sad, disappointed, regret, cleaning that, thorough examination of that, it's going to lead to, your feeling of home, your homecoming, your stability, your Four of Wands, your 1111, your wish fulfillment, your twin flame, your whatever you want to call this card of marriage, card of stability. Um, it's going to lead to that. That's what you have to look forward to. You have, what is coming in your future, a potential outcome would be a time of reflection, pause, seeing it from a different perspective, meditation, focusing on healing those, um, this this heartache, wherever that feeling of Five of Cups comes from. It's going to be an opportunity of that, and then it's going to be rigorous honesty about where that originally came from, and that's going to lead you to the Four of Wands. That is good. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right, you have some shadow aspects that were highlighted. I hope that this gives you an opportunity for some self-reflection. All right, so Raven Relics, Codex of Questions. If we give the most of what we need, ooh, this is a good one. What do you need? If we give the most of what we need, what do you need? We give the most of what we need. What do you need? It's an interesting question. All right, let's do one more. What conflicting beliefs do you have about yourself? Okay. And lastly, a wisdom of the oracle. Wisdom of the oracle. We're going to do as it relates to love and relationships. Between worlds. Card 3. 3 might be significant for you. Between worlds. And specific for relationship, this is a time to explore new energy between you and another, not a moment for certainty, rather for discovery and curiosity. You don't know it yet if this will last forever, so allow yourself to explore who you are and what is reflected back to you. This relationship is meant to educate you about yourself. What do you need? Isn't that funny? What do you like or dislike? What values are important to you? You are in a critical phase of your relationship that is not to be dismissed or hurried. There you go. Okay. So each relationship that we get into, each partnership, each job, everything is there. Even the challenging ones are there to teach us something about ourselves. What do they say? Rejection is the spirit's protection or something like that. The same thing here, like being able to leave this relationship if you decide to leave it in a healthy way is really important. And then to be able to reflect back on it and say, wow, I really enjoyed this time with you. And these are the reasons why. And I learned the most because of this, or find the things within the relationship that you really don't like and use that as a mirror back into yourself. But I think that's what you're going to do here with this potential outcome. You're going to be given that opportunity with that hangman energy and the four of swords energy to really reflect on, do some deep dive self reflection. Okay. That is all I have for you at this time. I trust that this is helpful to whoever was meant to find it. Um, as I always say, you are unconditionally loved and supported by the universe. My unconditional love to you. Until next time.